But then she starts picking it up and walking around, and then she pushes it into our daughter's fanny. You have to play the game to understand. Like this isn't a weird game. It's a really good game. Welcome to episode 43 of 30 Something Gamers. As always, with me, Tom, also known as Retro Revival, and I'm joined by the Leon Kennedy to my Chris Redfield, Boxy Artie. Are you taking that one?
Very happy with that one.
See, for me, Leon's like a bit of a twink.
No,
Like
Leon's all man.
no, Chris Redfield is all man with his bit
No,
beard in the new ones, and he's black tank top, like not tank top, black turtleneck. That's just in my dreams. Black turtleneck, like he's delivering milk tray.
Chris.
He's mad, and it's Leon Kennedy looks like sort of what the members of was he in his 50s or 60s now? He's got to be.
Leon.
Well, I've not played Resident Evil 9, but he's got to be. If he was 20 and when the first outbreak happens, and he's still got that haircut. He's like an ex, like pop star in a band, like in NSYNC, but not like Timberlake. Like he's the one that was forgotten that has to keep his haircut. So everyone it's because he still has the same haircut and clothes as he did 20 years ago. It's that guy that we can't remember his name from Boyzone or whatever. That's
He's a
you.
fan.
Are you what?
He's a fan. He's got to keep the image up. No, I mean Chris Redfield, fair enough, like pretty good, but then he kind of morphed into the manosphere. He's like an Andrew Tate kind of person now, I always think. And he punches boulders for fuck's sake. I mean, Leon at least sticks to some realms of reality.
No, Chris Redfield's not in the manosphere. Not at all. Chris
He's a
Redfield's just a burly bloke.
he's a
Ugh.
douchey bro.
Well,
Anyway, but
yeah,
before we move on, I'm quite annoyed actually because you remember last week when you called me I'm the butler and you're Tomb Raider.
yeah,
The amount of people who came forward and said, I can totally see that.
yeah, yeah. Do you know
Like,
what it is?
apparently I give off fucking butler vibes nowadays.
Do you know what it is? When I come up with these little digs at you, I think about them. I don't just think, oh, who's the better character, who's the worst one. I painstakingly think for hours, who does Boxy really remind me of games? And I don't know, is it Alfred? I just go to Alfred or Jeeves when I think of a butler name. Alfred and Jeeves are the go-to names. So I just, yeah. And people obviously agree with me.
Well, you stay there, sir, while I get you some porridge. Don't be
Yeah.
alarmed if it's too lumpy and full of protein.
I honestly think as well it comes to accent. I don't think anyone's gonna expect a butler to talk like me, are they? You all right, mate?
No.
What do you want? What do you want? You, crumpets? We are. I'll go and get you some. You're sacking
Oh,
that butler, aren't you?
I just pissed in your soup.
I mean, I don't know who that is, but yeah, they can piss in soup as well. Anyway, let's move on. Now, as we all know, we are clearly one of the top 20 podcasts in the world. So much so that I recycled that line from the last episode. Last episode, we ranked our ranking of the top 20 Metacritic games of all time. But we did 20 to 11. So today we are going to do the top 10 and give you our opinion of what we think of what should be objectively the best games ever. But as we saw last week, Metacritic, they need something in place. Because Nintendo just cheat. Anyway, let's get on to what I've been playing. So recently, I have just completed Celeste.
Hey.
I'm not going to go into it again because it's one that we talked about, and when later on down the line we might have like an episode on it or whatever, but we'll end it in. But played through on stream, enjoyed it, and I'll keep my opinions a mystery until that next episode. Follow the podcast. Tune in later. Follow 30 something gamers. After that, one of my challenges on stream on a Sunday I played was Cuphead, and it was seeing how far, how many deaths I would get, and how many bosses I would kill in an hour and a half I gave myself. Let's just say we got to the point where I was trying to make sure I had less than one death a minute. So it didn't go great.
Wow. That's really
Yeah,
bad.
but it's not really right. If I gave you this is my art, because obviously everyone on chat, and I had this right. I had this. Everyone on chat's going, "Oh, look at this! Oh, funny, making a joke. Oh, he's dead. Oh, you got to dodge that bullet." All think the fucking Ken Dodd in the audience with the shit jokes, right? And I said, you know what it is? Load the game up, play it for like I mean, I've played it back in the day when it first came out, but I've not played it in like years since it first came out, and I never sort of played it enough to like get the platinum like you or anything like that. And load it up for the first time and play it, and tell me how many times you die, especially when you're on stream as well and you're talking to people, and then come back. Because for me, you're supposed to have loads of deaths on a Cuphead game. Because if I go into a boss, right, could you go into a boss in a Cuphead-esque game and beat them first time?
Probably not first time.
Because you have to learn the phases, don't you? You have to, right, what's he going to do? What's he going to
But
do next? What do I
a,
have to do
de-
when this happens? What do I have to do when that happens?
a death a minute.
No, so I ended up with less than a death a minute.
Right. Okay. Bear in mind that
You
you can get hit 3 times before you die.
It's a very hard game.
What boss did you get to then in an hour and a half? The
I beat the
carrot?
veg. I beat the carrot, right? And I was fuming because someone early on came in the chat said, if you don't hit the onion, he just goes away. And I thought,
No, he doesn't.
oh, he
He
does,
doesn't.
he does,
He does.
he disappears.
I thought it goes to like a second phase, like a additional phase if you get rid of it.
So this is why I got screwed over, Boxy, because I spent so long on this. At the start of Cuphead, Cuphead, if you don't know, is a game that's sort of animated like old Disney cartoons. It's a bullet hell sort of boss rush. Every level's just a boss, and they've got different phases. It is beautiful. The music is amazing, but it is a hard game. Um, the first boss has 3 phases. Starts off as a potato. Then when you beat that phase, he turns into an onion. When you beat that phase, he turns into a carrot. You need to look at images to sort of understand it. Beat the potato every single time, right? Beat the potato every single time. Got the onion. Someone says, if you don't kill the onion, he just disappears. That phase just go boom. You done it. I thought, nice little shortcut. We'll do that. So I must have spent like 20 minutes trying to beat this boss because what they didn't say is if you don't beat the onion, he disappears. But then a little radish thing comes when
Hmm.
you're fighting the carrot and makes it 10 times harder to kill the carrot. So then I just went, oh, you know what it is? I'm just going to kill the onion this time, about 20 minutes in. Killed the onion, which was easy because he just cries and you just got to avoid his tears. And then the carrot is so easy without the radish. You just stand underneath them and shoot and then move out the way. So I got done
Yeah.
over by a spectator. Then I beat the 2 frogs.
Oh yeah, the boxing
Yeah,
frogs.
yes, the two boxing frogs. Um, it just took me a while in their last phase, they turn into a one-armed bandit. And
Hmm.
they've got different attacks they can do, but they're randomized. Um, and I just I kept the first time getting the same one, and I thought it was the same one every time. After like 3 or 4 times, I'm like, I've got this one now. And the next time I did it, it was this yellow one with bouncy balls or something, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And just confused us. And then yeah, that took us a while. I took out a Papa Smurf's nut, which is a big blue bollock.
Oh, Gooby Lagoo.
No, a big blue bollock, basically. You can call it what you want. They just got bored and drew a big blue circle with a face, and its different phases are. I'm just going to get a little bit bigger. Just going to get a little
He's
bit
yeah,
bigger.
and then he turns into a gravestone, doesn't he?
Yeah, which is easy again, which is easy to sort of get through. I think he was the easiest.
Mm.
And then I got on the one with a little plane,
Oh yeah.
and I was fighting someone, and I didn't beat her. I couldn't beat her, so I beat 3 in an hour and a half.
It's
And
not
I was
too
close to
bad.
beating the fourth one. I was getting to the moon pretty much every time.
Mm.
But I sort of got a bit distracted um, with star signs because she keeps at different phases of different star signs, and then someone came in to tell us what star signs were because I was ranting about how they're all bullshit and how they don't even look like. And I didn't know this. Random fact for you. I thought so they just see stars and put random lines between them, and they're like, "Oh, it looks like a crab. It's a crab." Or it looks like a bull. I'm like, firstly, they don't look like the things they're supposed to. And secondly, if you just put the lines somewhere else, it could look like something else. Like it's just dots, like you're all making the picture. And then someone told me apparently the lines are where the sun moves between them. I had no idea. So I got far too involved in that conversation to concentrate on
I
beating the
mean,
boss.
I mean, Cuphead's difficult to play at the best of times, and let alone having to watch your stream and all the comments coming in as well. I mean, it's literally things happen by the millisecond in that game, so it's the shit game to play on stream. But I'm glad you played it still.
Yeah, but obviously I've completed it before, like years ago. Like when it first
Mm.
came out, I completed it. And a lot of time when I do the challenges, it's got to be something that's difficult and like funny to watch and things like that. So, um, yeah, that was a challenge and a half. And then I have just recently started Wolfenstein 2
Oh yeah,
be-
yeah, yeah.
because, as I mentioned, I was the last episode or a couple of episodes ago. I'm going to go for the Mein Leben trophy, which
I
if
know you were talking about on the last one.
yeah, yeah. So if you don't know, Wolfenstein 2 is crazy, bombastic, alternate history. Germany's took over. They won the war or whatever. Your BJ Blazkowicz, which is an over the top 80s action character, but in a good way, not a Duke Nukem style. Like he's a really cool character, and it leans into it a lot of the times being stupid, quite gory, sort of over the top with that type of stuff. Fun to play. Like you start off the game, you've been in a blast at the end of the first game, so you're sort of recovering on a U-boat, and you can't walk yet. Your legs are knackered. So the Germans invade a U-boat. So you do what any good action star would do. You shuffle your ass over into a wheelchair and just dual wield machine guns while you're rolling around. And you know what it is? I wasn't impressed with them being able to. Well, right. Here's the things that I was generally impressed of that BJ Blazkowicz can do in a wheelchair. Firstly, in a U-boat, the doors don't have floors; they have like a little lip. He just goes over them, no bother. Like that shows me age when that's what I think is impressive in the game. Next thing, you can sneak up right on enemies with your wheels squeaking. It's like you're sneaking up on this SS trooper and then hatchet him from like his arse. I don't know. He's got the longest arms ever, but takes them down. And I'm just thinking, how embarrassing would it be if you were only sort of half taken out by him and you've got like scars across your face and you're sitting like after the war in a bar and someone say, "Oh, I got this in an IED blast," or "I got this storming called it." Where did you get that? Well, there was a guy in a wheelchair with a hatchet and he
Mm.
snuck up. He snuck up on you. Yeah, he snuck up on you. Did you not hear the wheelchair? I just thought there were mice around. Where were you? A U-boat. So the floor was metal, and he was sneaking up on you with a wheelchair. Yeah, and you got taken out by him. Yeah, half me platoon did.
If
Anyway,
that's if that's like what you're most confused about, wait until you play the rest of the game.
well,
Actually,
it's just fun, but I am it's I'm playing it on the hardest difficulty setting. But firstly, there's about 8 difficulty settings, like, and then you unlock the ninth one. I am basically on one or two shots and I'm dead. One or two shots and I'm dead. The Mein Leben trophy that I'm going to go for, and I'm going to try and do it on stream. I'll have to work out how I do it because it could take a while. Is once you finish it on any difficulty, you unlock Mein Leben, which is the same difficulty, one or two shots that you die, but it's permadeath. So you have to finish the game in one sitting. And if you die, let's say you're 5 hours in near the end, if you die, you go back to the start, literally the start, and you have to start again.
you're not going to
Um,
do it.
I will, I will, I
You're
will. As
honestly not going to do it.
I
I
was
mean,
talking about this, and obviously I'm dying multiple times at the minute. Like in one area, I'll be on half an hour trying to work out what it is. But I was having this discussion, and I was saying, look, when I start at the minute, I'm playing through the game and I'm getting the story and I'm enjoying it. I'm working it out. Enjoying that part of it. But when I play for the Mein Leben trophy, it's not me playing FPS. It's me doing a dance,
oh
and
dear.
it made me think of Celeste because when you get to a level in Celeste, it's a puzzle. It's a work out what I have to do, and it's a platform. You're jumping around, and you've got like a mechanic where you can do a double jump and a dash, and you can hang on to stuff. And there's other things that make things happen. And when you get into the room, you're like, how the hell do I get across here? And when you work it out, and especially in the bigger rooms, it'll take you 3 or 4 times to find what do I do here, and then you do it, and then you'll get through the end part of the page, the level. Sorry, or that screen and you'll die. But the next time you do it, you just do it first time because you're like, right, I do this now. I know what the dance is. I know what the dance moves are. That's going to be my leave. I'm not going to say, right, I need to do this, I need to do that. I'll be looking online at other people that have things how to do it. Of in this area, you go, you do this, you go here, you take these out. And yes, there is skill involved, but it's me learning the moves as opposed to I would prefer this than a trophy online of become the best or get ranked in the top 10 in the world in a multiplayer online shooter because you can't. That is, I have to be the best at this game. I have to. Everything that happens is new. I have to learn the skills and what to do in each situation and the choices. In Mein Leben, I have to learn. I do this, then I do this, then I do this, then I do this, and that for me is different.
Well, good luck with that. I'll see you in 3 years or something when you figure it out. I mean, I honestly don't think you're going to do it because even on medium difficulty, the game's still pretty damn hard. But
What?
yeah, well, good luck to that. I mean, yeah, I love that game. I put that in one of my top tens last year.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
how wheelchair accessible that U-boat is
Yeah, I know.
as well. Wait until the bit where they cut off his head and they just staple it back onto somebody else and he comes back alive.
Well, spoilers. Like, you're literally telling me about a game I'm playing for the first time. You are king
You're
spoiler.
not gonna get that far on the permadeath thing,
How far do you think I am now? I've streamed it for 3 hours.
and you haven't died yet.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing. Oh, I'm not going to find the permadeath, but I'm going
Uh,
through it now because you
all right.
can't unlock. You can't unlock Mine Leaving until you've completed it once. But what I thought was, I'm gonna. I thought if I play it on medium or easy or whatever it is, just to get through and get the collectibles and stuff like that, it's pointless because I'm gonna get into habits of I can poke my head out of cover for this amount of time and take a shot. So I'm playing it on I am Death Incarnate or something, which is the hardest,
Okay.
which is the setting it's going to be on because I thought I need to get used to how many shots I can take and what I need to do to get in cover and whether they're sort of when I'm sneaking up stealthily, what their scope of being able to see is. So I'm doing it now on I am Death Incarnate. So 3 hours. Where do you think I am?
I'm trying to remember. Have you got to? No, you wouldn't have got to that bit yet. You've met the. Have you met the Liberators, the kind of Black Panthers?
No.
No, they're cool. They're good
I've
characters.
what I have had to do what I am doing this stream is because I had to do some frantic searching to see whether I needed a lawyer to stop myself getting cancelled from YouTube and Twitch, because as you will know, it drops what the young kids called the hard R twice at the start of the game in a cutscene.
Okay.
So you bump into his dad. So you have a flashback with his dad. His
Hmm.
dad's not the nicest of fellas, a little bit of a racist, and describes a girl that he saw BJ kissing as a word that we can't say right now twice in quite quick succession. And I'm on stream going, what the fuck? Like, what am I doing? Because I know for a fact if I said that on stream, boosh, something picks it up. I'm done. My channel's cancelled and things like that. And I was like, for fuck's sake. Then because of that, because I was in a heightened sense of let's not get cancelled, I get to the next point a little bit later on where it's quite a similar throwback to the first game where you're captured, but this time you're captured by the biggest German Karen that there has ever been,
Hmm.
and she beheads like your one of the main characters from the first game. And I'm like, I can't look at that. And I'm like, I'm looking away sort of as the character because you got free roam of the camera. But then she starts picking it up and walking around. And then she pushes it into our daughter's fanny. You have to play the game to understand. Like this isn't a weird game. It's a really good game. And
Hmm.
I'm just with the character trying to avoid it, thinking, I'm just gonna get cancelled just for the sake of this. And then I had
Oh,
to Google.
it's a really like R-rated game, but
Yeah,
there's some
yeah,
amazing set pieces in it, and I always think Bethesda always win with that series. Apart from
yeah.
Youngblood, I thought New Order was fantastic as well. So I hope you have fun with it. That's all I can say. You're gonna hate it by the end of it, but
No, I won't. I won't. I'll see it as a challenge. I'll hate it as I'm doing it, and I'll love it as I've finished it.
hey,
Yeah, that's what
anything else
important.
you've been playing?
Nothing really. Obviously, with his completing Celeste, that was a big game, and obviously I'm playing all the way through Wolfenstein 2. Not been playing much apart from that recently. I've got a couple of other games lined up and stuff, but no, just we just spaffed our loads over Christmas, didn't we? Just playing everything left, right, and center, and now we're just back to lonely two games every couple of weeks. So,
I know. I'm still wrestling with first Berserker Khan
all right, okay,
still going
okay,
on,
well,
but I've got Final Fantasy X ready and prepped to go.
oh,
So I can
looking
hopefully
forward.
shed some bars on that on the next episode.
So
Hopefully.
before we move on to trivia, just to remind you that I did challenge Boxy to play that 2 weeks before he challenged us to play Celeste. And I have finished Celeste, and he hasn't even started Final
Yeah,
Fantasy X.
Celeste is
So,
Celeste
with
is
that,
like
we
a
move on to trivia. And oh, wait a minute, I haven't come up with me little phrase that I've got to come up with. Let me do a
yeah.
boxy and turn round and
Well,
look at.
I'll do the theme tune in the meantime.
Right, okay.
Da, 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 da. Oh, I'm playing a game with Nazis.
And as well, when I'm on stream, I'm like, can I say the word Nazi? I don't know. So I keep calling them, but then I keep saying the Third Reich and SS as if it's like a bit, and I'm not gonna like people there. Oh
Do you want one of mine?
no, I want a good one. So
Oh, come on, this is dead air. People
so
tuning out.
uh, um, uh, join me as we test Boxy this week and find out whether he's a true gamer or one of these posers that thinks Alone in the Dark is just an autobiography of his childhood. That's all I could come up with. Anyway, I have got a little themed round for you this week,
Okay.
and this round of trivia is going to be called Links.
Okay.
Now, I'm not talking about the famous golf courses. I'm not talking about that amazing body spray that makes women attracted to you. I'm talking about things that link these things together. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you something, and you're going to have a guess at what you think the final link is going to be. Okay?
Okay. All right.
And
Okay.
after every guess, or if you're not sure when you pass, I'll give you another one. There's
Right.
five in total. So when you have all five, the link should be obvious.
Okay.
But if you get it on the first go, you get 5 points. Second go,
Oh,
four
wow.
points. Three, two, one. And what I want you to do, listeners, is be honest, firstly, because I know he's a lie. In the comments, let us know on these three questions how many points you got out of a total of 15 points available. And you know what points get you?
Prizes.
No, fuck all. It's just a stupid quiz. Right.
This sounds complicated.
It's not. So, for your first question, number one is Walter Boone.
Nope. Next one.
No. So, sorry, Walker Boone. Does that help?
Nope.
Even worse. Right, Walker Boone. Your second one in the category, Lou Albano.
Nope.
No idea. I might have got that one. Number three, I have tried to make them a bit easier as you get down, so they will start off hard. So you're down to 3 points. We've got Walker Boone, Lou Albano. Number three, Chris Pratt.
Oh,
Ooh.
people who have voiced Mario.
So you think people that voice Mario? Okay, I'll give you the next one, and you can tell me whether you want to change it. The next one is Bob Hoskins,
People who have played Mario.
and the last one, Chris Martinet.
Yeah, I'm right.
You are right. All of those people have played Mario. I'm going to give you 2 points, not three.
Why?
Number one, Walker Boone was Adventures of Super Mario Brothers 3, the animated series. Lou Albano was from the Mario Brothers Super Show. And if you don't know Lou Albano, he was called Captain Lou Albano in WWF. And I think I'd have got that from that because it's the only video game fact I know about him. Chris Pratt obviously played the voice in the new movie. Bob Hoskins was in the 1980s film, played him. And Chris Martinet is the actual voice of Mario for years and years and years.
So explain to me why I've only got 2 points. I got it
In
on the third one.
third one, you said people who voiced Mario. And
Oh,
then
for
second
God's
one,
sake, it means the same thing.
it doesn't. Lou Albano played him and Bob Hoskins played Mario
Oh,
in live action.
that's not
So
fair.
on number two, you said on Bob Hoskins, you said people who've played Mario, so you get 2 points. Okay,
Debatable. Go on then.
it's not debatable. In the comments, just let them know he's wrong. Right. Okay, our next category. So you're on 2 points. First one, Monster Truck Madness 64.
Nope.
No, you don't have a guess at a random category.
Well, no, because if I gave
No,
like an
no, because
answer,
if you get it wrong, you can still guess something else on the next one. It doesn't affect your points. A wrong answer is the same as no answer. But it's just
the only thing I can think of was I remember there was a game that was sponsored by an energy drink.
okay. So you think sponsored by energy drinks?
Yeah.
Okay. See, because it just you know what it is, Boxy. We're creating a podcast.
Are
Makes
we?
it more fun for the listener if you don't just go, I don't know, I don't know. So if you don't know it, come up with something outlandish.
Well,
Okay.
I'm used to being on the other side of this section. So
Not
I'm
by
used to
now. Not by now. You've had my trivia blown all over your face loads of
Mm.
times. Game number two. So we've got Monster Truck Madness 64. Next game, Austin Powers or Behave.
Austin Powers Oh Behave. Wow,
Yeah, or
okay.
Behave. It's you've got to know Austin Powers or Behave because I didn't realize how many Austin fucking Powers games there
I didn't know there were any Austin Powers
were.
games.
Well, there is. This one is apparently terrible from what I saw of it.
Was it
It's
on the
got
PS1?
no, it was on the Game Boy Color.
Wow. Um,
Of all the console, what console needs an Austin Powers game?
I mean, what link could possibly be between a Monster Truck game and an Austin Powers game, unless there's a song in it? Am
So
I on the right?
what's I'm
Am I on
not
the
going
right?
to tell you. I'm not going to give you clues because you get clues and then you lord it around like you're the king of trivia.
I'm gonna guess there's a song in it.
That's in all of them. Okay, okay, yeah, right. Okay, next one is Wild Arms that came out on the Dreamcast.
Is that the cowboy game?
I can have a quick look for you. I feel like it's like a robot. Wild Arms. I just wrote Wild in the middle of my notes. Wild Arms Dreamcast. I think it was like a. Oh no, it looks like it's Oh no, that's a Wild Arms on the Dreamcast. The wrong one.
There was a Wild Arms game on
It's
SNES,
not.
I think.
Yeah, this looks like an RPG called Wild Arms, and I don't think it's that one.
This has got to
Let
be
me
some subtle link. I mean, these are all incredibly different games.
tell you what it is. It's a big link. It's not even subtle. Not even subtle. Oh, sorry, Wild Metal.
Oh dear.
I've checked my research. It's Wild Metal. I think I've got confused when I saw the game. Does that help that it's Wild Metal instead of uh Wild Arms?
What was the first game called?
Monster Truck Madness 64, Austin Powers Obi here, and Wild Metal.
No, don't know.
No. Next game. Got two left. It should get starting to get clearer. Max Payne 3. So we've got Monster Truck Madness 64, Austin Powers Oh Behave, Wild Metal. That was a terrible Austin Powers. I apologize. And Max Payne 3.
Is it something to do with acronyms
In what way?
like MP3, OPO, OBB, OPB,
What's
O?
OBB?
I can't even fucking spell.
APOB.
AOB. Any other business? MP3.
Are you trying to say that when when you just say the letters, it
Yeah.
MP3 and what's MTM 64?
Um, uh, my time
Right,
makes 64.
here we go. Then last one for 1 point to pull it out. Red Dead Redemption 2.
I would be
Monster
so I'd
Monster
be
Truck
so
Madness
surprised
64.
if anyone got this.
I don't think so. I think quite a few people get this.
Well, some of them have got numbers, other ones haven't. They're all
Mm.
completely different games.
Mhm.
Um, is it a voice actor?
And that you ended on 0 points. They were all published by Rockstar. They're all Rockstar
What
games.
the Austin Powers game was?
The Austin Powers on the Game
What?
Boy Color was released there was a few I could pick for. They also released Austin Powers' "Welcome to My Underground Lair," also on the Game Boy Color. So if you want your Austin Powers nostalgia reignited, you need to get yourself a Game Boy Color, or a Game Boy Player for the GameCube, and get yourself the two Austin Powers games. Austin Powers All Behave as a mini game based action game. Um, whereas
So published, not developed by.
both games were met with generally negative receptions from critics, including IGN writer Chris Carl, who found All Behave to be bad. That's all it says. He found it to be bad. I thought there was going to be some funny quote in there. He just found it to be bad. But it
You
got
could have
six
said
out of 10. So
that's not bad. I mean, Game
in
Boy.
one magazine, one Game Boy magazine, it got 6 out of 10. So that's you on 2 points out of possible 10. Brilliant. Right,
Hey,
I thought you might have just thought, I don't know, Max Payne 3 and Red Dead Redemption 2. What's the link between them?
but
Thought that.
I'm usually feel I'm quite clued up on what Rockstar's put out because aside from the main obvious ones, they did Midnight Club, didn't they?
Yeah. When I was looking at them, I was like trying to think of how do I make it so it sort of gets progressively harder. There's loads of other things I could have picked. Obviously, Earthworm Jim 3D was
They did that as well.
published by Rockstar. The N64 was there a link about that? Thrasher, which was a skating game, but I think more people know that one. Um, Oni, which is a PS2 game, an underrated game.
Yeah, yeah, I
Your
remember
On
that
I
one.
or whatever you go. You don't know Jack, which is a quiz game, which is now on the what's the quiz game where you go on with your phone on the PS4 and stuff. The
Oh,
Jackbox, yeah, it's on
Jackbox, yeah.
them there now. But that was when he's there. State of Emergency,
Yeah, I would
that's
have
an
known that
obvious
one.
one. Smuggler's Run was an obvious
Okay.
one. Italian Job. Honestly, so much. Obviously, there's a Manhunt series in there. People just assume Red Dead and Grand Theft Auto. These just don't. But obviously, there's so many more like Bully, Alien Noir. There's
Hmm.
so many games, so many great. Ooh, Alien Noir, the VR case files. That'll
Yeah,
be
I've
good
got
for
that one.
you because you say that all you do with Alien Noir is wang off objects. But if
You
you can
do?
do that with your actual hands, I've seen the size of your forearms. That for your world record incoming.
Examine those things as quick as you can, son. Right.
Yeah.
What's the next one?
Right, okay, here we go. The next one, number one, cats and dogs.
The game,
No, no, it's I'm just gonna cats and dogs.
as in the
Uh,
film.
no, I just cats and dogs.
Right.
Yeah, any guess?
I mean, there's Stray that came out. There's dogs, like games that have been made about cats and dogs.
Okay, second game is cottage living. So you got cats and dogs and cottage living.
Okay. Um, there is isn't there a Coronation Street game?
So, what? So what do you think is his categories in the Coronation Street?
Yeah, why
Okay,
not?
we'll go for it. Um, that would be really aging our audience as 30 something gamers. Well, if you haven't got it from Cats and Dogs and Cottage Living, there's a clear link to Star Wars Journey to Batuu.
That is that a
So
game?
I, I don't know how to say it without giving it away. So they're just things.
What's
Cats.
Journey to Plateau or whatever you said?
So cats and dogs,
Yeah.
Cottage Living, Star Wars Journey to Batuu. What links all them?
They're all owned by old people.
uh, right, that's your guess. So next one is Horse Ranch.
Ranch.
Horse Ranch.
Cats and dogs, cottage living, Star Wars. This is going to be something so weird and obscure.
It's not weird.
Is it all the
It'll be.
stuff you grew up with?
I wish. I love cottaging.
Mm.
Last one for 1 point. High school years. So your links are what links? Cats and dogs, cottage living, Star Wars, Journey to Batuu, horse ranch, and I think that means where horses live, not like a ranch sauce made out of horses, and high school years.
Um, all of your nicknames when you were 6 years old? I don't know.
No, the actual answer, and I'll be impressed if anyone genuinely gets this,
Yeah, because it's
is
shit. That's why.
no, no, it's all extra content DLC you can get for The Sims 4.
What the? What? Who in their right mind is going to get that?
Someone who loves The Sims 4. I mean,
Yeah.
if you, I don't think I've heard of Journey to Batu in anything else. So is
No.
that so? Then, if you know Journey of Batu, then you know it's The Sims.
What is
So
it? What if you bought
um,
that, what is it?
Sims Star Wars Journey. Let's see what you get. The Sims 4 Star Wars Journey to Batu. Create Sims' unique Star Wars story in the Sims 4 Star Wars Journey to Batu game pack. Available September 8th. There's pictures like you get all of the like clothes and things for them to wear, and then you get
Mhm.
objects like little Star Wars 139 objects to include in your house. Little BB units and stuff there. Fighting with Star Wars lightsabers here.
They're missing a trick. They should have like actually put them in a spaceship or
It's Well, it's the space. I can see the Millennium Falcon on a screenshot, but this just goes to me, EA, just money grabbing bastard, just going, we've got the Star Wars lions, Star, we've got the Star Wars license. What should we do with it? And then someone going, oh, do you know that real life simulator we've got where people live out their real lives and build their homes? Why don't we turn them into fucking Jedi's? Like there's
Mhm.
like for me, The Sims isn't really about fantasy, is it? It's about like real fantasy, like living out, like killing your husband and stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's you're
Maybe
not
for
on another
you.
you're not on another planet. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna put my missus in the swimming pool, and I'm gonna take
Take
away the
away the
stairs
steps.
and see
Or
what
start a
happens.
fire in a room and take the doors away.
Yeah. Or I'm just gonna lock him in a really small room and see how long it takes for him to die from pissing himself. Imagine that in
Yeah.
like the ME's office. So what did he die of? Well, um, he just pissed himself that many times. He died of dehydration.
Yeah,
That's
just
it.
make them get as smelly as possible and watch them psychologically break down because they like start waving at you, don't they? Being like, "Hey, sort me
Yeah.
out." I haven't played
Right.
Sims in a long time, so I did well, didn't I?
2 out of 15. Let us know in the comments if you did better than Boxy. And Boxy, can you lead us out with your theme tune?
Um, da, da. Still playing my Nazi game. I couldn't think of anything.
I could tell that when you started it with what genuinely worried me that you were having a stroke when you went. I was like, is he okay?
Trying to get the cogs working.
Is this a myth? But I've heard if you're having a stroke, what you got to do, like, you put both hands, is it up, and you touch your nose with your finger, and you have to say British Constitution to
I
prove that
mean,
you're
I'm
not
no
having a
doctor
stroke.
or anything, but if you're having a stroke, doesn't that mean that your body is shutting down?
Well, because what I know from having a stroke doesn't affect one side of your body.
Well, it
So
can do, but not
so
always.
I think if you can't do the touching your nose with both sides, this is why it became a video podcast. If you can't touch your nose with both sides, because if your arm, then that shows that, and affect your speech. So if you can't say British Constitution,
Face, it's fast, isn't fast. Face, arms, speech,
oh,
tongue.
let's fucking move on. We're not a health podcast, right? Okay, sorry, that was me. I took us down the wrong place. Okay, so last week we ranked the 20 to 11 in the Metacritic's top 20 games of all time. And this week we're going to finish off the listings and let us know what you think about them. So far in the goated greatest games of all time category, we've put Resident Evil 4, BioShock, Grand Theft Auto 3. In amazing, we've put Uncharted 2. In very good games, we put Half-Life 2, GoldenEye 007, and Super Mario Odyssey. In overhyped, we put Halo and Metroid Prime. And in actually shit, we put NFL 2K1. I don't think we're going to get any blowback on the NFL 2K1. I think it's the Halo being overhyped. We might
Yeah.
get shit sent through the post for. But we move on. Today we move on to Grand Theft Auto V, which is Grand Theft Auto 5. For those of you who don't know Roman numerals, Grand Theft Auto 5 is probably one of the newest, if not the newest game, I think, on the list.
Okay.
The newest Grand Theft Auto, obviously, until Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. It got a Metacritic score of 97. If you don't know how Metacritic scores work, they basically get the reviews of every sort of magazine and website and stuff out there and put them together and come up with what their average score is. And it is 97. What are your thoughts on Grand Theft Auto 5, Boxy?
I'm gonna go full controversy right here.
Oh,
I think it's overhyped.
I am with you. I am with you.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a good game, but once you get past all the innovation that they did with the switching perspectives and the heists and all that kind of thing, it's quite a shallow game.
Yeah, yeah. The story narrative isn't great. Technically, at a technical standpoint, it is. Um, and I think Grand Theft Auto 5 has obviously got so many sales and everything that because of the sort of the online features and stuff that they brought out. And I mean, I played Grand Theft Auto 5 at the start when the online was terrible, like really buggy and it didn't have loads in and stuff like that.
Mm,
Um, but I honestly think live service games should have a separate category, and that's what it is, isn't it? People are buying Grand Theft Auto 5 now for the live service sort of side of it, rather than no one says, "Oh, you got to buy Grand Theft Auto 5." The narrative is amazing,
yeah.
and it is technically a marvel. Technically, it's a marvel. But if someone, I think there's lots of gamers out there, gamers, not these as we mentioned on previous episodes, gamers who talk about mean they play COD and FIFA, and Grand Theft Auto probably is one of them that they play as well. If you ask a proper gamer like ourselves, not a gatekeep, but what are your top 10 games of all time? How many of them do you think would say Grand Theft Auto 5?
Not many. I've heard a few people sort of say it's the game they would take to a desert island to kind of kill
Mm,
time because there's loads of things you
yeah,
can do and there's loads of content, and I kind of get that. But compared to, and I think you hit the nail on the head, like the story is important in Grand Theft Auto because they're like these epic kind of novel games almost. Like they have a real good beginning, middle, and ends. And Grand Theft Auto 5 just kind of meanders, I think,
yeah, yeah.
until the kind of climax. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, 10 out of 10 for kind of innovation and how it pushed the PS3 to its limit. And they've literally milked it for all it's worth. Like they've made so much fucking money off that game.
Yeah.
It's insane. But it's not the Grand Theft Auto I would play. If I wanted to put in a Grand Theft
Mhm.
Auto, I wouldn't play that one.
Yeah. And obviously we mentioned last week, obviously Grand Theft Auto 3 is in the top was it was number 12. Like my Grand Theft Auto game that I put in isn't on the list. Mine would be Vice City. Oh,
Mm,
and then close second would probably be San Andreas.
yeah.
And neither of them are on the list, which I find amazing that that's not
Yeah.
on an NFL 2K1 is, and this is the problem with
I mean,
their.
I'm going to say something about Grand Theft Auto 5 as well, which
Mhm.
may be a bit weird to say, but there are some parts in that game which I feel really uncomfortable with. Like, I think it
Okay.
treats women really badly.
Okay.
Like, the Michael's wife and his daughter, there are sections in that, like some of the missions, which I think are really uncomfortable because
I
I
see. I
think his
can't
daughter's
really.
trying to get into porn or something like that, and he talks to his wife really badly, and there's just a real awkwardness about it. And I know Rockstar games are cheeky and like they always try and lean in on the satire
Mhm.
and stuff, but I think they just went a bit too far with it in Grand Theft
Do
Auto
you,
5.
do you know what I think they did with it? I think the Grand Theft Autos leading up to it, apart from Grand Theft Auto 4, which obviously took a more serious sort of tone and had different sort of thematic things they were going for, sort of an immigrant over in New York and trying to build and all that jazz. But you think about the Grand Theft Auto games before that, characters were probably treated in a similar way, like women and things like that, but it was super tongue in cheek. It was really, really done as parody and
Mm,
funny, and you can tell that they're taking the piss. I think in Grand Theft Auto 5, they've sort of got a little bit of the seriousness of Grand Theft Auto 4, and they've got the some of the stupid and parody stuff that of the early Grand Theft Autos, and it makes it feel like that's actually what they think. Do you know what I mean? Rather than they're taking the piss. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the way they treat the characters and stuff like that. And I think that's what sometimes can create that sort of awkward moment and stuff like that.
And I don't think there's too much of a balance going on because I know in all the other Grand Theft Auto games they're male protagonists, but there is like a balance of where you come across good, well-written female characters as well.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I did not get that in Grand Theft Auto 5 at all,
Mhm.
and it just seemed like a bit too over the top and a bit too, yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, now when you mentioned that there, and as soon as I thought, right, what female characters can I think of Grand Theft Auto 5? And as soon as you mentioned his wife and his daughter, it's like, can't think of any others. And even that, like, if we weren't talking about them, I wouldn't see his wife more of a side note. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like, I think of his wife more because you catch her cheating at the start in that mission where you pull the house down off the side of the building at the tennis court or something.
yeah, yeah,
I think about that, but I think more about why Michael's doing that rather than her as a character in that scene, if you know what I mean. So
yeah.
I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean. But to move on to a Rockstar game that maybe focus a little bit more on the narrative, in number nine, as a similar score, well, the same score of 97. Obviously, I'm assuming that behind the scenes, the decimal points are what rank top games is Red Dead Redemption Dos, number two in Spanish for those of you who don't speak Spanish. Yeah, so Red Dead Redemption 2 for me, far better game than Grand Theft Auto 5. I think it's got the same things of, even if to an extent more, maybe too much focusing on technical. What can we do? What can we make realistic? That takes away a little bit from the fun. But for me, I love the narrative. I know you're not the biggest fan of it, but I think it's just the best epic cowboy narrative there is out there. And I used to watch cowboy films with my nana when I was younger every Sunday because she loved cowboys because the narrative was simple. The bad guys wore the black hats and the good guys wore the white hats, and it was easy to see. So I've always enjoyed a cowboy romp. Don't clip that and take it out of context. But I love the story. I love the story. But I know for a fact when we hash it out, you're not going to let it go anywhere near Gordon, are you?
Well, it's no Call of Juarez. No,
It's
no.
no gun, no gun on
I
the PS2.
Gun, yeah, Gun was good back in the day.
It
Um,
was.
no, it a really staggering achievement, and I'm glad I played it. And I think as a complete experience, it's a phenomenal game. I think the moment to moment, there's some issues, and I think it leans too much into the realism, and they spent too much time with that. And it is a slow game, like
Yeah,
you can't deny
yeah,
it.
yeah,
And I think going back to kind of GTA 5, the kind of substance of it all. I mean, a lot of because whenever I kind of talk about it, I say it wasn't completely for me. People have said the real magic of that game is when you go out and you just find your own story. You just
yeah.
do connect with people, you get a wanted level, you start helping strangers. Like that's when it all kind of fits and everything just slots together. And I didn't do that. I just kind of stuck to the main missions. And a lot of the main missions are ride to here, shoot the bad guys, and ride back. And that's like Ubisoft design, that is.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, I do need to play it again, but it's even if you just stick to the main missions, it's still 50 hours. So it's a
It
fucking
is. It
beast of a
is.
game to get through. But I will take your lead on this. If you want to put it in goats, then because I know people will agree with you.
I
So
think. I think it misses out on Gord for me. It's for me. It's amazing. Technically, what I did and the narrative for me, I just love. I find it amazing. The character of Arthur Morgan, I really connected with, and obviously, yeah, you need to because you're not playing 50 hours of a main story and more if you're doing side quests if you don't connect with the main character. I think what keeps it off for me is what you're saying. Sometimes going for a little bit too much realism and a little bit less gamifying something. Like when I kill a rabbit and I skin it, I don't need to see you skinning the whole rabbit every single time it happens. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
little things like that would have made that experience a little bit more fun, less real. I think would have got it up into goated, but I definitely think it's got to go up in my regards. Very good. Half Life 2, GoldenEye, Super Mario Odyssey. It's better than them, and I'd say it's on par with Uncharted 2.
Okay, go on then.
Yeah, super duper smooth, but amazing. So next we move on to a completely different style of game. Uh, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Which one do you think?
3.
It is three. It is
Yeah,
number
I know. I
three.
knew 3 was in the top 10 for some reason.
Yeah, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, which is my Tony Hawk's because I had an N64 and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 did come out for the N64, but it wasn't Tony Hawk's that was on the PlayStation. It was a blocky mess. So Tony Hawk's 3 on the PS2 was the first time I sort of got a Tony Hawk's as it came out and sort of played it at the time when it was relevant. And I put so many hours into this,
Mm.
so many hours. And Tony Hawk's is better when it's the arcade mode. Have a go, time attack. These are your objective. Keep going, high score, rather than open world. Like you said, you enjoy open world Tony Hawk's. I just don't get it. And he is something. Looking at the top 40 games, this is how good Tony Hawk's is at what it does. Is it is the only other game I can see in the top 40, apart from maybe Gran Turismo, and that's still it's a racing game. It's different. That is arcade style of 2 3 minutes, go for it, high score, do this, do that. The rest are all narrative, sort of focused games up in that top 40, and that just shows you probably the only game, and it's up in eight for me, how good it was. I think it just perfected what the previous two games did, and for me, I think it's got to be goated I, I- because of its genre of game. Like
Mm.
if we're talking about sports or arcade game or anything like that, I don't think there's anything that really comes close to it. I'm not saying it's the same, like sort of as a Bioshock or Resident Evil. You can't really judge them; they're completely different games. But I think if you're saying right, Tony Hawk's, you would say that is the greatest arcade or not just skateboard, like sport, like SSX Tricky, all those sort of arcadey type games. That is the greatest one that is there.
Interesting, because you know what, I looked at the top 10 and I saw that one. I was just like a bit like, what? I was a bit
Mm-hmm.
surprised because it is a good game, and I'm not
Yeah,
denying that. But the was it the eighth or the seventh
it's
best
the
game
eighth,
of
number
the
eight.
eighth best game of all time? I don't
But
know.
see, but see this. Like, I always think with this when people say, "Oh, the best top 10 critic," the best top 10 Metacritic games can't be the best of all time because if you were reviewing that game, Tony
Hmm.
Hawk's 3, at the time when it came out, you're not judging it against like a Red Dead Redemption 2 story and mechanics and stuff. You're judging on how good of a game it is in its genre, in its sort of sphere. And
Yeah.
in that respect, it is a 9, 10 out of 10. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I say it's one of those pick up and play, tough to, sorry, easy to pick up, tough to master
yeah,
experiences.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think
definitely.
that's a really difficult balance to kind of strike. It's one that I haven't played as much of. Like I always play 1 and 2. Um, but there is really lovely flow to it, and it's that arcadey thing. I mean, you talk about arcadey stuff. I mean, I go to Burnout Revenge when I think of arcade
Hmm.
gameplay
Hmm.
because it is just chaos, that game. And
Yeah,
but listening to you talk about Tony Hawk's, I'm like, yeah, I mean, you got a fair point, and we should look at these games as their own thing and not comparing them to others. Then it does what it says on the tin. You know, it's a really well designed skateboarding game that
yeah,
anyone can play. So
yeah,
yeah, why not?
yeah. There we go. Some agreement. The next one, a game I don't think we've really talked about much. Even though we both had an N64, I don't think we have talked about it once. I've just realised, and I don't know what your opinion's going to be on it because you didn't. I don't think you got to play the full game because it's Perfect Dark for the N64. And
What?
a long time ago, we talked about Perfect Dark because we talked about the expansion pack on the N64, and you hadn't heard of an expansion pack before,
Yeah, I thought it
and
was the
you
Rumble Pack.
and you need an expansion pack to play Perfect Dark. Did you have Perfect Dark?
No, I've
Oh,
played it. They did like a re-release or a remaster, didn't they?
right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There was another game came out on the 360 that was terrible. And I'm going to just say this is the point where Nintendo bias and Nintendo exclusives end up high on the Metacritic game sort of ranks because, like we said, when we looked at a game like a Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption that's come out multi-platform, it has ridiculous amounts of reviews. Perfect Dark at the time, obviously, there wouldn't been as many websites, so there'll have just really been print magazines, and most of the magazines that reviewed you would get a magazine for you'd sort of be true to your brand, wouldn't you? I'm
Mm,
PlayStation. I'm getting PlayStation magazine. I'm N64. I'm getting Nintendo magazine. So there was some, but not as many sort of magazines that were multi-platform across them all. Because back in the day, you had one console, didn't you? You didn't sort of have them all, and not as many games were sort of multi-platform because of that, they've been reviewed less. So if you got three reviews, I know we'll have more. If you got three reviews, all from Nintendo biased magazines,
yeah.
because it's a
Well,
Nintendo exclusive, it's going to put them up. I
whenever
did love
people,
Perfect Dark, and it is better than GoldenEye. I will say that.
yeah, then that's what I was going to say. Like, whenever people speak about the game, they're like, "Oh, if you think GoldenEye is overrated, play Perfect Dark." Because although
See,
GoldenEye got more of the hype and more of the um, publicity, they say Perfect Dark is the much better experience.
yeah, much more fun. They had fun. Obviously, they lost the license of James Bond, and they took it to like a sci-fi setting, and the multiplayer. You've got like they had more fun with the guns and things you could do because obviously you didn't have to follow along what James Bond and stuff would had, and you had a bit of more of a sci-fi aesthetic, and it was really, really good. I remember putting so many hours into Perfect Dark. Greatest of all time? I don't think so. I don't think
No,
so. But we've got GoldenEye in very good, and I think. I don't think I put up with Uncharted Red Dead Redemption.
no, just put it in very good.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
I
it's
haven't
it's
played it,
top
so
of
I
very
can't
good.
comment. But
Yeah, I think top of very good. Right. Next game, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
hmm,
Now, have you played this one?
yeah,
Yeah, I'll play this one as well. And I played this one late. I didn't get a Switch till well into its cycle, and I got it for some games. Now, one we've already talked about, Super Mario Odyssey, because everyone was losing this shit like it was the next generation of platforming. Uh, and then, same for this. People were talking about The Legend of Zelda like Jesus Christ himself had came down and programmed a game. The second coming of Jesus Christ wasn't to absolve us from our sins, was to create Zelda Breath of the Wild. As you might guess from my tone, I don't think it lived up to that.
um, I'm in two minds. I think from a design perspective, it's phenomenal. Like the whole open world in the sense of you just organically find where you have to go. I think that's really clever, and that the boss, the end boss, is right there in front of you, and you can go to him whenever you want. But you're going to die in 5 seconds. But I like the whole go anywhere, do anything, and you will just find your way. And that's what Elden Ring kind of took in its design. And but what lets it down for me is weapon degradation. I think that's a massive letdown to the game. Um, and yeah, like it's as you, I didn't think it was as engaging as everyone said it was. And I think the puzzles got very samey and the creativity wasn't 100% there all the time.
Where would you put it?
I'd put it in very good, personally.
I'll go with you because I don't want to. I've already got Microsoft fanboys probably hunting me down with because I was honestly going to suggest overhyped, but if
And I think
but
it's got one of the worst box arts of all time, the English version.
I can't remember what the box. Well, oh, is he like falling? Is he in the sky or something?
No, it looks like Link is taking a piss off off the cliff and looking back at you, giving you a
That's
cheeky wink.
that's why I bought the game.
It does because the American version is actually pretty epic, and it's just Link standing with his back to you, looking out over the mountains and
That
stuff. But the
that's the
English
cover.
one,
That's the cover I've got in front of me now on the Metacritic site, and it is awesome. It
but
is
the
awesome.
English one looks like he's on a Center Parks holiday, and the public toilet is all blocked up, and they've asked him to go and piss off a cliff.
Well, that's why I was going to put in overhyped because I bought that game for that reason, and there was no pissing off cliffs.
Hmm.
I had to get me Death Stranding pissing on mushrooms. I had to get out that way. Anyway, for time, I'm going to do the next two together. number 5 and number 4, and you'll see why. Because number
Mm,
4 and number 5 are number 5 is Super Mario Galaxy 2, and number 4 is Super Mario Galaxy. So,
mm.
fourth and fifth best games of all time, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2. I will say this, I did enjoy Super Mario Galaxy more than Super Mario Odyssey, I think.
Okay.
I think it was more trying something new with the worlds and being able to go like round them rather than sort of just an open world. I think Odyssey was a bit more like by the numbers in that respect. Super Mario Galaxy 2, I've not played. Now, is it more of the same?
Yes.
So
It's
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 nothing where you
more.
say, "Oh, this is it," but it's got this on that makes it better. It's just more of a really good game.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think Super Mario Galaxy 2 is actually a really lazy game from Nintendo because
Yeah.
at least but up until that point, every 3D Mario game was something completely different.
Mhm.
And they really pushed creativity. They tried to change up design. Whereas Super Mario Galaxy 2 was literally just like, let's just repeat Super Mario Galaxy and we'll put Yoshi in it and a few more power-ups and we'll take away the hub world because they have the hub world in Super Mario Galaxy 1. In the second one, it goes back to the like the board where you're just moving across to the level.
Right. Okay.
So I think
Okay.
it's a lesser experience in some ways. I liked Super Mario Galaxy and I thought it was a really good game, but I think Super Mario is best when it's all about exploration and trying to uncover secrets and
Yeah.
mystery, like Super Mario 64, and to an extent Odyssey as well, because I thought
Yeah.
that kind of brought it back into it. Whereas I found Galaxy to be quite linear, and
But
I
here's one for me. I don't think they have achieved anything better than Super Mario 64 in
no, I don't
3D
either.
Mario games. Obviously technology and things and stuff that have advanced, but for me, Super Mario 64, they just hit the nail on the head first time, and the
Yeah.
again they do innovate and try different things rather than just doing the same thing. And if they brought out a Super Mario 64 2 and just did the same sort of thing in a castle, we're gonna it wouldn't hit as good. But they've never innovated that much and just created a game that was just sort of near perfection for me. And like we say, Super Mario 64 is not in the top 20.
No,
And
and
like
I think it should be. I think it should be number one person personally, but
and like we said when we checked last week of where it was, and I can't find it now, is that far down. Um, it had reviews, and this is why the system Metacritic doesn't work. Like we see again, from not just the N64, but it then started the Nintendo DS version of it. So it looks
yes.
like when it was re-released just as Mario 64, it was never going to get the same scores as Mario 64 did when it first came out, and it was like an innovator of all time. Um,
What let it down on the DS was they didn't have an analog stick.
mm,
Because the whole game is based around free movement and flow and everything, and you got to deal with the DS's controller, which doesn't have an analog stick, so it completely limited the game straight away.
yeah,
But
that sounds right. So Super Mario Galaxy 2, do you want to put that in overhyped?
I personally, I would.
Yeah, it's in.
But
Nope, nope, we don't need it. It's in. Fuck it. Uh, Boxy hates Mario, and Mario Galaxy very good. Same as like Mario Odyssey.
yeah, I'd say very good.
Okay,
I
super.
think we're going to
Would
get
you?
pushback on that one.
I don't care. I don't care. Fuck them. Fuck is all. Right. Okay. Next one. The third best game of all time. Grand Theft Auto 4. With a Metacritic score of 98.
Nice.
So, Grand Theft Auto 4. I prefer it to Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, me too.
Storyline's better. I think it's a bit more gritty. They were again trying something different. Uh, Again, innovating when it came out. I do prefer, and I don't know whether it includes that, or whether it could include these. Is I love the storyline in the Ballad of Gay Tony,
Yeah.
which was an add-on. They did have the Lost and the Damned, which was a motorcycle one, which I think was boring and drab, and everything was going wrong. And I think it's just because people watched Sons of Anarchy at the time. But the Ballad of Gay Tony was great, and I think it's the first time I saw a full CG penis. Gay Tony's, so that was awakening. Oh, that's what it looks supposed to look like. Christ, why has mine got the? Anyway, what's your feelings on the game?
I love it. I think I know it's stupid because it's got a Metacritic score of 98, but I actually think it's really underrated Because
Mm-hmm.
anyone talks about Grand Theft Auto, they always talk about 5 and they talk about San Andreas, but barely anyone talks about 4. My favorite ones are San Andreas and 4, and I think 4 has the best story. I think Nico is the best GTA character because he's actually three-dimensional. He actually has an arc, and
And he's got a cousin Roman, which
he
is
does.
always good. You've
He
always got
loves
someone to go bowling
bowling.
with. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Um,
great.
and I think like the step up as well, like it still holds up. I
Yeah,
think like the ragdoll physics. You know when you crash a car in that game and Nico falls out, it's honestly epic. Like it still surprises how well they did that kind of impact with the
yeah,
graphics and stuff.
yeah.
But I I think it's a wonderful game. I know it's a bit grey and a bit brown, but
Everything was then. Every game was grey and brown in that era, and
yeah.
they were leaning into it. But I think they did something good because they'd always been parody, pastiche, funny. And I think when they realised what they could make, they went, right, well, we're going to make a serious one now. There's just
Mm.
humour in it, but there's humour in it.
It's
And I
like
know it was,
it reminds me of Heat, Michael Mann's Heat, the
oh,
film,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
the same
Yeah.
kind of tone. I think it's an amazing personally
I,
game.
I'm there with you. I'm there with you. Definitely in amazing. I'd say it's above the very good games. Hero one that we might be able to just do really quickly. The second best game of all time is Soul Calibur.
Fuck that game.
If you don't
What
know
on earth?
Soul Calibur is a your standard fighting game like a Street Fighter, based around I think the Soul Calibur is a sword or so. It could be the best. Same with the NFL game. It could be the best fighting game of all time, but I don't even hear people say that it's the best game of all time, the best fighting game of all time. Like fighting fans of Mortal Kombat and Tekken and Street Fighter, I feel like those are a bigger known series.
Mm.
But I don't care how good a game is. A fighting game cannot be in the top games of all time. It can be a good
No,
game, it just can't be in the best games of all time.
I generally don't know the difference between what makes a good fighting game and a bad one, unless it's something flat out broken like Shaq Fu or something like that.
Yeah.
But
This is the difference because people will be going, well, you said Tony Hawk is the like arcade game and that's good because it's the best in its genre. But for me, you hit the nail on the head when you said Tony Hawk's anyone can pick it up and play it and enjoy it and do good, but you can master it and be amazing at it. For me, fighting games, you either bash the buttons, you don't really know what you're doing.
mm,
If I went online now, knowing a lot that I know about gaming and playing fighting games over the year, I would get annihilated. And the
yeah,
only people that are really, really good at them are the people who I only play fighting games, and it's so
is
nah.
that
It's
Soul Calibur the one that has Link and Yoda in it?
yes, I think so. So Soul Calibur, when it came out around the original Xbox era, they had different characters depending on which one you bought, but it's not this one. This is the original. I think came out like on the Dreamcast.
Wow.
So when Soul Calibur 2 or 3 or whichever one it is came out, if you bought it on GameCube, you got Link. If you bought it on PS2, I think it got Hayachi from another fighting game. Or was it Spawn? Spawn was the Xbox. You got Spawn out of like the comic book character Spawn.
Mm.
Um, so it's not even that one. You don't even get to play with your Link.
I mean,
So it's
I
good and
wouldn't
actual
even
shit.
I wouldn't say it was overhyped because I say I don't hear anyone talk
Yeah,
about it.
it's just actually shit.
Yeah, go on then.
It's
Yeah.
actually shit. Actually shit.
The
Come
one
at
Soul
me.
Calibur fan's gonna come after us.
It's all right. They'll come at us and because they've held all those like control pads and stuff over the years, they'll have arthritis and all that knuckles and wrists and stuff. And what they're gonna do? You giving that is can't do those combos in real life. Come at me. Anyway,
Fucking
greatest
nerd.
game. Us calling people nerds. So, greatest game of all time. The only game with a score of 99 on Metacritic. Always talked about, not just in its genre, but actually as the greatest game of all time. The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on the N64. Would you agree that it's the greatest game of all time? I would say, because I know for you personally it wouldn't be. In general, do you think?
I wouldn't say it was in general the greatest game of all time because I think it hasn't aged well. But
Mm,
I still think it's a great game.
it is.
And
It is.
I played it on 3DS as well, and I still had a great time with it. And with
Yeah.
updated controls and graphics, it does make a hell of a lot of difference.
Yeah. Yeah. And I honestly think now, if I was going to play, Mario 64 or Ocarina of Time, I think Mario 64 might have held up slightly better if I'm playing the originals, control wise and stuff.
Because I mean,
Um,
it has that lock-on system, which is a bit jank.
yeah, and you've got the thing of like auto jumps. I always hated that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you don't jump, you run towards the edge and it auto jumps you. Not that I'm going to not say it's a good game because it does that. I played this as a kid and like hours and hours and hours and hours trying to catch all the gold Skulltala collectible things to up your health and things like that. Like I genuinely loved it and stuff. And again, N64 for me was really a big era in gaming because I'd went from playing loads of games on the Mega Drive and stuff. And this is the difference between the console generations now. 2D platformers, side scrollers, stuff like that. And then you go on to playing these epic open worlds with so many different tombs and stuff like that. I just think
It's
it was amazing. And I like to think about it now in hindsight with rose tinted glasses because I know if I go now and I went into the mainland of Hyrule, I think, Christ, this is empty. There's nothing here. But at the
mm,
time, it was the first time I had that. Like if I was thinking of its time when I was that age playing it, it would have went and goated for us. I
yeah.
honestly think so. Now, I think it. Let's have.
I think it's the first kind of Death Stranding game when you're walking across that huge field. You're
Yeah,
constantly
yeah, yeah,
walking
yeah,
across
yeah.
the field to the castle. So there's a lot of walking in the game. But yeah, for like the scale at the time. I mean, going through this list, N64 had so many titles in the top 20 or whatever it
Yeah, but
was.
we've talked about this. There's some of them we don't think should be there, and Nintendo are cheating.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's crazy to think that, Super Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time alone, two games which pushed the industry miles ahead from anything
yeah,
that we've seen
yeah,
otherwise.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And yet the N64 is still kind of seen as like an odd duck of a
yeah, yeah,
console.
yeah. And like they went to sit on cartridge rather than went to CD, and they made the wrong choice. And
Yeah.
like some of the greatest games of all time are on the system. A Majora's Mask that followed up was an absolute banger as well, like absolutely amazing game. And when it comes to sort of other game types like wrestling, people
Mm.
still say that the No Mercy and the WrestleMania and the WCW NWO games on the system were some of, if not the best wrestling games of all time, to the point where when a recent AEW, which is WWE's rival, sorry, they basically got the creators of their games to make their more recent game, and it didn't go down as well. But that's how much esteem they held in.
Yeah.
Um, you know what it is? I think I want to put Ocarina of Time and Gordon. I'm looking at what else we've got there, and
What else has been
I've
goated?
Resident Evil 4, Bioshock, GTA 3, Tony Hawk's 3, thinking of a genre, and Ocarina of Time, and I think it deserves to be up there with them.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Like if I think about Ocarina of Time and Red Dead Redemption 2, the very different in regards to what they look like and what you can do in them because of their age. But I think they're very similar as being how groundbreaking Red Dead Redemption 2 was with this open world and everything you could do. And whoa, Ocarina of Time was like that at the time. But I also think as well, Ocarina of Time was more focused on fun gameplay as well. And for
Yeah.
me,
There was
I'd
a
put it
sense of
there.
there was like a mystery about that game as well. Like you had to think a bit about where to go and what to do, and
Yeah.
especially back in the days before the internet, that kept you hooked and it caused like playground kind of chatter,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
talking about where do you go after you got this? Because I always remember that fucking frog thing that you have to feed a fish to.
Oh, yes.
I was
I thought
stuck
you
on
got
that for ages and I just didn't know where to get it. And then
yeah.
someone in the playground told me. And yeah, I miss stuff like that. Like I miss,
Yeah, you have to find out yourself, not just
yeah,
be told what it is. Yeah. And so that's our ranking of the top 20 Metacritic games. We have in the Goated. We're not saying these are the best games of all time because there's some games we would want in that aren't in the Metacritic top 20. We got Resident Evil 4, Bioshock, GTA 3, Ocarina of Time, and Tony Hawk's 3. In Amazing, we have Uncharted 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, Grand Theft Auto 4. In Very Good, we have Perfect Dark. We have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Is that right? Yeah, Breath of the Wild. Half-Life 2, GoldenEye, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Odyssey. In Overhyped, Halo, Metroid Prime, Grand Theft Auto 5, Mario Galaxy 2. We've tried to piss off so many people with that category, so
yeah.
many different demographics, and then actually shit NFL 2K1 and Soul Calibur. And if we piss you off and you like those games, we don't care. Stop listening. So that is our top 20. And let's finish off the episode with our Game Buster. So this is where we give you a cryptic clue. Well, I give you a cryptic clue towards a game, and you have to guess what the game is. You have to use your brain. So last week's Video Game Buster was the clue. Have you seen Rosemary's Maid having a fucking meltdown? Boxy, did you get anywhere with this at all?
Is rosemary something to do with the herb?
It could be. If it was, who would be our mate be?
Herb, coriander, sage. Let's just list a load of garlic.
No, I'm going to put you out your misery because it's been a long episode today. So, have you seen Rosemary's Mate? Time. Have you never heard of? Have you ever heard of the detective show Rosemary and Time?
No.
No, because
I've heard of it on my lamb.
Good. And so, have you seen Rosemary's Mate having a fucking meltdown? Time crisis.
Hey.
There you go. That's a good one. And we oh no, I've wrote the Game Buster for this week and I've not wrote the answer. So next week I'll have to try and work it out myself. So the clue is fuck me. The director of Spider-Man's a bit humorless. I'll give you that one again. Fuck me. The director of Spider-Man's a bit humorless. And that is your Video Game Buster and your episode for the week. Thank you very much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We will be back next week. We'll be back on Friday with our useless microtransaction where we'll be talking about games that started out shit and eventually got better. So join us for that one. You can listen to us where you get all your podcasts, and you can now watch us on YouTube and on Spotify, 30-something gamers. Also, follow us on TikTok and Instagram, 30-something gamers, 30 the number and something gamers. And we will always ask you for your input, the topics we talk about, and you could get on the show. And then your life's made, and you can get in the bath with a toaster, and it's all good. So, thank you very much for tuning in. Leon Kennedy, goodbye.
It's nice to end the podcast on a thought of suicide. Yeah,
well,
see you later.
That's what most of our listeners do anyway.
See you later.